Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this one, we're talking preparing for the Magneto invasion coming up. In my opinion, this is probably the hardest invasion that they've had. I'm assuming they've tuned it, but that's probably not a good assumption at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if they just recycled the exact same one, which frankly, I think would be fine. So we'll see how this is, how hard it is. We're gonna get it here in about a day. And I'm gonna help you a little bit. I got a couple videos out there and talk about what you need to do to prepare for this. And it is definitely one you probably do not want to pug, aka do a pickup group with. So let's get right to it.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so I want to start by saying I've got a couple videos out there that you can check out. They're about 6 months old. Just go to my videos here, click this link, click the little magnifying glass and do Magneto Invasion. The top two should pop up. Those are really the main two that I did. One was about beating it under 1.4 mil, which I think was about the cap. And then the other one was about how hard it is. So, and even not doing well. Now, one of the things I will say is that if you're not aware, or you're right on that threshold of being able to enter the final level, you can sort of just build your power up to, you know, 1.4, 1.5, whatever it is. And then after you're kind of in a party and queuing up, then you can change it to whatever your actual build is if you need to. Now, the way this video or this invasion actually starts is it starts off with some random mobs in it. And you can see as of before, when you looked in here, they had a bunch of different power levels. 85k, I went through here, whatever. Let's go back for a second here. If step 4 was 900, and I think step 5 was like 1, I don't remember, 1, 2, 1, 3, maybe 1, 4, but it wasn't too bad. Now, when you go through here, you can see the first part of the mobs are just, they're these random like dudes who come out, and then some sentinels pop out, you kill them. And then after that phase, you go around and kill all the sentinels on the side. You want to make sure that your group goes around the circle in separate directions, because any of them that you don't get will come and help Magneto fight. And then Magneto's got these different phases where you can see he comes out here and has all these different bubbles. He's dropping things nonstop. There's a guard break phase. The bubbles, I think the blue one gives you like more guard protection, or more like basically it gives you like a defense buff, and then the red one gives you an attack buff. So that's really the gist of the fight. But you really want to make, I think the red gives you more guard break. So, you know, the first couple phases aren't so bad. Again, these are the lower powers. I'm just like sort of walking through it. But it's that later phase with Magneto that really gets sort of difficult. And when you have Magneto in there, like in this explosion here, that's one part where you got to get out of it. You want to make sure you get out of it. There's another one where I think it's during, so he's like in this like guard break phase. See the guard break meter, you're trying to break it. He's then got this giant explosion, which again, you've got to have a dodge ready for, or invincibility, or you will not survive. And then again, you're working on guard breaking. So that's the sort of key to this fight, but it really is and some people developed some guard break skills or builds for this invasion, where it was just sort of crazy to get through there because it was very difficult. I remember when I did this, JS, who had a Captain America, I basically had to always run with him, because I could not, or had a very difficult time pugging it. It was really, really hard. And by the way, you could see as I was going through there, you could see these counters at the top here. That was how many sentinels were left. So you wanted to make sure to get those down to 0. And then again, Magneto comes down, you get these little bubbles. You bring down his HP as low as you can. That thing you want to get out of. I didn't. Right? So you want to get out of that. Don't mess around with that. It's an instant die. You can just walk out of it. It makes it harder to run out of. It sort of sucks you in. And then here, I think there is you can guard break him here, but if I remember right, I don't think it really matters, because he still does this. And this is the part where you actually have to guard break him for. And he'll have this big sort of explosion. Again, I died again. And I was level 4. And that's what I was saying. I was like, holy cow, this is level 4. This is insane. And it was very, and you know, 900k power minimums on it. So this was definitely, in my mind, the hardest invasion. So you want to make sure to plan accordingly. you know, potentially have a guard break build or run with people who are higher power with good guard break abilities. We'll see here exactly if I was able to do it this time. But again, there's the explosion. Get out of it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm probably going to dodge in it, I assume. Okay, I don't know what I was doing there. That was mental. Maybe I just didn't realize what to get out of there. But basically, you want to run out of that. So, I mean, it's not a hard dynamic. And then, again, we're just sort of taking them down, trying to get either the blue or red bubbles. Again, I would recommend if you are somebody who is a little bit weaker power, do not go for the red, because you want to leave those for people who can actually survive without the blue bubble. And I will say too, sometimes those bubbles were a little buggy where I'd be in it, I'd run through it, and it wouldn't give me anything. I never did figure out exactly how that was. Here's this big explosion. Okay, so it guard broke me, it didn't kill me, but that explosion you want to be ready with a dodge again. And then here we go with the guard break again, where we're trying to get this guard break meter down to 0. So that's the key there. And again, if you don't have, and you know what, the Magneto companion or any companion that you can have that does do additional guard break, you want to bring that to this as well to help you, because this phase can be difficult. You can see it. I mean, and I'm taking constant damage here. I remember there were some people to increase his total damage. That's when I was learning what the different bubbles did. You're taking constant damage during that phase, and it really is pretty difficult. And I think I went through here several times trying to do this, and it's tough, you know, where I'm just getting here. So that's where it finally, you know, again, I shouldn't be sitting in this. I should be like getting off to the side. Why I'm in here in the middle is because I'm mental. You know, I'm probably just like at that point in time, it was 6 months ago, I'm probably trying to figure out exactly, you know, what it's supposed to do. But you can tell you're silenced and you're running a lot slower during that phase. So make sure to get through it, or to get on the outside of it, understand when that's happening. And then again, you come back in, you start doing damage to Magneto, and he gets to the point where he starts, again, swirling all this stuff around, which is right here, and you are taking damage nonstop. I remember some magics, because of some of her self-healing, they thought this was crazy easy, because they're like, this is invasion, but it's because she has a lot of self-healing. Wolverine, I would look at the Swift Strike healing spec. It might be pretty easy for him. He might be able to do it decently. And again, we've got Magneto down to, you know, 1, but again, you've got to guard break him. He will not die here until you guard break him. So you got to make sure to push through that. Again, I keep going through the reds. I eventually learned reds were not my thing, that I needed to just go ahead and get the blues, which obviously I got there, and it would help protect me a little better. But I highly recommend running this with friends. You know, you can try to pug it. If you got the right tune with a Wolverine who can maybe heal, has some decent guard break, you might be okay. But this was a really, and then where we go. I finally got it on that one. I don't know if I end up doing level 5 or not. Let's see. Let's check and see what level 5 is here. All right, so level 5. Yeah, so the recommended power was 1.7, and this was 6 months ago. All right, and I was 1.4. So, you know, it's kind of like, okay, now I think eventually, I don't know if I could even do it, but okay, so maybe I was able to do it. Yeah, so I'm queued up. And then, so I do go in here. Now, this is obviously going to be a lot harder than the other ones. You get those same mobs at the front end. They're all different levels are the exact same for all you new. So for all you folks who returned during the Wolverine, new player, sorry, I'm sick. My brain's still foggy. You know, you might want to consider bringing him in here. Again, you're going around getting all the sentinels down. Magneto drops. You get the bubbles. Everybody's just pew-pewing. You might be fine to do red for a little bit here, but you just got to be smart about saving your dodges and staying out of the way for anything that he's throwing down. I'm going pretty hard there, so you can see the red circles on the ground. It is all stuff that you want to avoid. And at some point here, all right, so this part I should be running out to the side. Just straight run. Just run to the side. Now, and those things, that makes it hard too, because as you're going out, they make it so that all right, so I made it out. You know, and then if you're out, you're fine. So it explodes. You don't have to get behind stuff, but I think I was just being silly. So then you come back in and you keep doing the damage. And as we go through here, it's all the same stuff here. You keep getting them down to 1. We get him to 1. He has all this stuff swirling around him. I'll show you how I died there. So he's got the stuff swirling around him. You can see look at my health. It is just going down like crazy. That's why I'm saying, like, you really got to have some protection here. That's why I loved running with Captain America and JS, because he'd always put that barrier up. Now, also, I waited for a bit to revive, which is another smart spot there, is wait for that thing to explode, come back in, and come back and get the revive after he does the explosion so that you don't die twice. And then we're sitting here guard breaking. He's just dropping stuff all over the place. Again, he's got a bunch of stuff swirling around him for damage. I'm running around trying to get some of these buffs. Finally get the blue buff, but I'm at 20% HP. I don't know why I ran through the red one. Probably because I was mental. I was trying to get both. Died again, right? So it was a very, very difficult invasion. So prepare yourselves for this. Again, I have a couple videos on it. This one was just me running through it. If you want to see it in action, I kind of went through it here, obviously very quickly, but those are the general mechanics of this fight. It is difficult. It is hard. Be patient with yourself. The Magneto badges, I do have some infographics out on those, talking about which ones are best. You can check them out just on the MFR resources channel on my Discord, which is in the description below. You can check that out. We're a bunch of sick monkeys here at my house. Again, trying to run off to the side.
I agree.
Yeah, we are. I'm outside of it. It explodes. We go back in. We attack him. We get him down to 1. He's doing all this stuff. You're taking a bunch of damage. And then, again, you would go through the guard break stuff. So rinse and repeat. I'm saying it over and over and over so you kind of get it. And again, I'm taking so much damage here. I'm trying to run around, like just staying out of it to see, but I couldn't do anything. I used all of my dodges there. So now I'm coming back in. I'm trying to help guard break so we can get him down. This phase is very difficult. He's dropping stuff all over the place. Can I get it? Can I get it? 21%? No. I mean, it's like I'm so close to getting it, right? And it's hard. And that was it, plain and simple. So appreciate you guys checking it out. Hopefully this helps you with your Magneto invasions. Prep accordingly. Be smart about it. Hammer down like buttons, click notification bell, subscribe. So next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.